Hey, good afternoon, everyone. So let's now discuss about the harbors. No, last meeting we discussed about ports, the different elements of ports, design considerations in port design, and what are the different purpose as well as the different parts of ports, and of course the different types of ports natin. So in today's discussion, we're now going to dive into harbor naman tayo class, no? So for the contents of my discussion today, okay, or the outline of my presentation for today, we will discuss about harbor components. What are the different components of harbor? So what are the different classifications of ports and harbors? But in here, we're just going to focus on harbors kasi tapos na natin yung ports no last meeting. So what are the different requirements or what are the different characteristics of a good harbor? Number 4 is how are we going to determine the size of harbor? Number 5 is the ship characteristics. Number 6, the kind of harbors according to its usage. And number 7, location and site selection for harbor construction. So let's now start. For the requirements or characteristics of a good harbor, so these are the requirements daw class or elements or things na dapat meron yung ating harbor for us to be able to consider that particular harbor as a good harbor. So what are the different characteristics nga ba of a good harbor? Number 1, it should be connected by roadway and railway for faster transportation of goods. So we all know that harbors, no, um, uh, ports and harbors is where large containers or goods, or we call that container vans, no, um, are being transported, no, are being shipped, no. So these are the point kung saan kinakarga yung ating mga container vans as well as mga ibang mga goods natin and products, okay, in container form sa mga container van natin, and that's being shipped, no, through yung ating mga malalaking mga barko going to different parts of the globe. So therefore, para mas maging efficient yung transportation or movement ng ating mga goods natin, especially no yung mga bulky na mga goods natin, kailangan it should be yung ating ports and harbors mismo ay connected sa ating main road. Okay? Um, parang ito na din yung tinatawag natin class as connectivity of transportation network, no? Doon sa ating urban transportation system, still remember our discussion in urban transportation system before, one of the primary or primary objective natin in planning is that dapat may continuity yung ating transportation. So ibig sabihin, if that is the or the modalities or the different modalities of transportation must be interconnected in some way. So ibig sabihin, dapat may continuity pa rin. So hindi dapat siya paputol-putol. So the same is true with this one, no? So when you are transporting goods using road facility natin or road networks natin, then it must be connected dun sa harbor natin kung magkakaroon ng change of modality or ililipat mo yung modality of modality of the delivery ng ating mga cargo natin or cargo shipments natin. So um, so it's really yung number 1 talaga natin ay talagang um, part na rin siya ng ating transportation planning. No? So it's a common sense no for transportation engineers na dapat connected yung ating mga modalities of transport. So hindi dapat siya paputol-putol. So number 1, though it is sabi ko nga it's a common sense na dapat talagang interconnected lahat ng mga modalities natin, but dapat sabi nga ng it is mentioned in here to be considered as a good harbor, one of the characteristics must be meron dapat siyang interconnectivity with the other modalities of transport natin. That's number one. For number two class, channels, no? Pagdating kay channel, we are referring to the depth of the water or the depth of yung mismong um, part of the bodies of water kung saan dumadaan yung ating mga vessels or mga barko. So therefore, dapat meron daw provided na adequate depth. Otherwise, hindi po makakapag-maneuver or hindi makakapag-move smoothly yung ating mga vessels or transport vessels. Okay? So that's number two. It could either be natural channel or artificial channel kasi may mga artificial channel na din ngayon class, no? So nagbi-build na sila ng dike, mga ganyan, to build in an artificial channel, no, to connect certain bodies of water uh, sa ibang mga bodies of water. So they are interconnected. So there are already artificial na mga ano. But ang ano natin dito class are the natural channels, okay? So pagdating kay kay harbor talaga is the natural channel. Then next is the breakwater. When we talk about breakwater, these are the infrastructure or structures provided dun sa palibot ng ating harbor, okay? Dun sa may parte ng mga katubigan to protect destructive wave action. So it could either be pwede mo siyang tambakan ng lupa, okay? It could either be a reclamation, i-reclaim mo yung area, gagawa ka ng parang dike out of yung mga soil natin, no? So magtatambak ka, or pwede rin class na gumamit tayo ng hexapods, no? Yung ibang ano natin, they are using hexapods. One of the use kasi or purpose of hexapods is of course to break yung ating ocean current, no? Para hindi siya yung ocean current natin hindi siya direktang tatama sa ating mga barko na nasa loob ng harbor natin, but rather meron silang protective protection, which is yung tinatawag natin na breakwater. Mamaya class, no, iano natin. Etong mga, sorry class, meron pala dito sa ating picture, an example of a breakwater. Etong dike dito sa baba, if you can see this one, sa baba ng picture, yung pinaka-lowest picture, okay? That is an example of a breakwater. Okay? Okay. So, okay. So, continuing with our discussion. So, ayan. So, breakwater. Next is for holding ship against wave action, for providing secure anchorage, bottom should be supportive, no? So dapat yung ating mga anchorage ng ating mga ships na dumadaong sa ating harbor can provide yung sabi nga natin, no, secure grip, no, para um, hindi siya mabilis, no, anuhin ng mga ocean current natin. So there must be a strong um, grip dun sa ating anchorage para to hold the ship against wave action. Kasi nga, yung wave natin kapag tumatama sa ating mga ships, tendency yung mga ships din natin at the same time ay may tendency na babangga siya dun sa mga structures natin along yung mga shoreline natin, which will later on cause mga damages ng mga ship natin. So therefore, dapat dun sa mga anchorages na nilalagay na lang ng mga ship, dapat meron siyang provided na talagang strong grip para to hold the ship against the wave action. Number 5, the entrance to the harbor should be wide enough to permit easy passage. No? So dapat yung ating daw pong yung ating entrance, okay, yung bunganga ng ating harbor is wide enough, of course, to permit easy passage. No? Hindi dapat siya masyadong makipot kasi nga alam naman natin na malalaki yung mga barko. No? Later on, pag magde-design kayo class, you will be able to or you will be um, the first or one thing na kailangan mong malaman when you are designing ports or harbors is that to identify the dimensions of the largest ships, okay, or the largest vessels that will going to use your facility. In that way, makikita mo na or malalaman mo na kung gaano dapat kalawak or kaluwang yung ilalagay mo na entrance to your harbor. Okay? So, should have efficient yung harbor daw natin, dapat may sufficient number of quay, piers, wharf, loading and unloading for the loading and unloading of cargo natin. Adequate number of transit sheds for storage of cargo. Okay. So, facilities for repairing yung ating dry dock, no? Dapat meron ding provided na dry dock sa ating mga harbors, no? Fueling for vessels din. So, facilities for fueling of vessels dapat may provide din. The area should be sufficiently large, of course, to cater nga to allow yung ating repairing of ships, no? Hindi siya mahirap mag-repair ng ships, no? In case of fishing harbor, enough cold storage should be provided. Now, for fishing harbor ito class, ang mga dumadaong naman sa mga fishing harbors or mga fishing vessels, no? So, sila yung um, mga ships ni ano yun, yung mga Youngstown, mga ganyan, yung mga nag-ano ng shipping mga vessels natin, no? So, 555, yung mga ganyan, no? So, they have their own ships kasi. And then, yung mga dumadaong doon, dun sa mating fishing harbors are, of course, yung mga fishing vessels natin. So, kapag may mga fish silang mga, uh, dala, course, pagdating nila ng harbor, then there must be a cold storage facility para doon nila ilipat yung mga na-harvest nila. Okay? So, that is a fishing harbor. So, I think those are the different elements na kailangan natin i-consider daw for us to be able to say that that particular harbor are good harbor. So, the different classification of harbor natin, na-discuss na natin to last time, no? The difference between a natural harbor and a artificial harbor. So, natural harbor, the same pa rin siya, protected from storm and waves, pero yun nga lang, it's natural. From the terms of natural, it is yung natural configuration of land, yung ating land ang mismong nagpo-protect ng area. Example natin dito, class, is the Port of Manila. Port, Subic Bay Port. No? So kung mapapansin natin dito sa map of Metro Manila, itong malaking area dito, portion dito, is the Port of Manila or the harbor, Manila natin, Manila Harbor. So kung mapapansin niyo dito, class, itong land area in here at saka yung land area dito sa baba at saka dito, sila yung parang kumbaga nagpo-protect dito sa katubigan natin dito sa part ng Port of Manila. So therefore, yung area now na dito, yung mga katubigan natin na dito is already a protected area, pero ang nagpo-protect sa kanya ay hindi po siya artificial or hindi siya kinonstruct but rather natural configuration ng land natin. That's why it's considered as a natural harbor. So eto klase sa natural harbor. Kung mapapansin ninyo, mga bundok yung nag-ano sa kanya, nagpo-protect dito sa area na ito. Then therefore, tong harbor na ito class is an example of a natural harbor. Then based on protection, we have in here the semi-natural harbor. So from the term itself, semi, it is a combination of a natural and at the same time an artificial or man-made protection. So commonly, ang mga man-made protection lang natin sa semi-natural harbors ay dun sa mga bukana lang niya, no? Dun sa may entrance lang niya. So kasi hindi naman natin kontrolado kasi yung ating configuration ng land, no? So may mga pagkakataon na yung land natin or yung land area natin or yung configuration ng land natin is not actually enough to safeguard yung a certain area para maging harbor. So ang ginagawa natin, for example, kalahati lang niya yung natural, di gagawa ka na lang ng or magko-construct ka na lang ng breakwater, no? Doon sa kabila naman para mabuo mo yung tinatawag natin na harbor. Kapag ganun yung ginawa natin, class, then that is already an example of a semi-natural harbor. So as you can see in here is an example of semi-natural harbor. Yung nasa itaas, yung bukana niya is a semi-natural harbor. Though protected siya dito sa baba kasi may mga bundok, pero doon sa area na yun sa labas ay hindi. No? Therefore, nag-construct sila ng breakwater to make a semi-natural harbor. Dito din sa baba, class, kung mapapansin natin, yung picture sa baba, do may mga island tsaka may mga bundok dun sa kabilang part ng ano natin, pero dito sa may parte kung saan may katubigan, wala na siyang protection. So therefore, nag-construct sila ng facility or ng mga structure, breakwater structure in here to protect yung certain area. So therefore, it's a combination now of a natural configuration of yung land natin plus the ano natin plus the construction of breakwater, then therefore that is already considered as a semi-natural harbor. So based on continuation, based on protection, artificial harbor are pure man-made. So it's a pure man-made na mga harbor. So ibig sabihin the entire parts sa lahat ng paligid ng mga ano natin are protected by man-made structures, no, breakwater lahat. So therefore, if that's the case, then we can consider it as a artificial harbor. So example in here, itong mga naipakita dito sa class is an example of an artificial harbor. Okay? So yan. Then next is, ito din, no, artificial harbor din. So kung mapapansin ninyo, puro breakwater. The entire area is protected by a breakwater. So walang natural dun sa part na yan. So therefore, it's considered as an artificial harbor. Okay? So commercial harbor. So based on utility or the classification of harbor natin, no? Based on utility, number 1, commercial harbor. Here, facilities for loading and unloading of cargo and ships are available because it is a commercial harbor. Nabanggit na natin to last time din, no? What's the difference between a commercial, industrial, mga ganun na type of ports and harbors, di ba? Pag sinabi nating commercial harbors, it caters passenger and at the same time, mga small, mga cargo, di ba? So, kaya siya nagiging commercial. So, it consists of adequate amount of landing space, facilities for transporting cargo, and sheds for storage. No, kasi alam naman natin when we say commercial harbor, it is a combination actually of passenger and at the same time mga cargo natin. So therefore, pag sinabi natin commercial, dapat meron kang adequate amount of landing space kung saan bababa at sasakay at magbababa ng mga pasahero. Okay? So pagdating naman, class, kay sa mga cargos natin, there must be a enough or adequate sheds to store yung ating mga cargo natin. So here, docks are provided with adequate facilities for loading and unloading of cargo. So dapat meron din siyang adequate na mga docks natin, okay, para sa unloading and unloading of cargo vessels natin or cargos natin. For letter B, still continuation of based on utility is the refuge harbor. So used as a haven for ships in a storm, have facilities for anchorage and safe access to harbor. Should allow all types of ship in an emergency. So ito naman, class, itong mga types of harbor na ito is kino-construct siya sa mga areas, no, or mga islands, lalong-lalo na dun sa mga parts kung saan may madaming mga dumadaang mga barko. So para saan itong mga refuge or refugee harbor natin? So eto, class, is an emergency parking. Kumbaga parang emergency parking space nila na kapag inabutan sila ng malalakas na storm, then meron silang paglalagyan or lalagyan ng kanilang mga vessels para hindi sila masira or matangay ng wave natin. Alam naman natin na kapag during storm, matataas yung ating mga wave natin. So, refuge harbor yung mga yun. So, military harbors din po tayo. Meron din, no? The naval base for purpose of accommodating naval ships. It serves as a supply depot. So, example of this is the Subic Bay. So, ang military harbors natin is talagang reserve siya for military operations lang. No? So, hindi siya po pwedeng as gamitin for commercial purpose o kaya meron kang passenger tapos doon ka magsasakay sa military harbor, hindi po pwede yung mga yan. So military harbors are exclusively used by, of course, yung ating mga military personnel, most specifically yung ating mga naval forces natin. So fishing harbors, nabanggit na natin kanina, no? Facilities for departure for catching fishing ships, no? Ito yung mga fishing vessels natin, no? So dito naman sila dumadaong. So ano yung mga facilities dapat na meron kay fishing harbors? Dapat meron siyang cold storage facility. Okay? Dapat din daw connected siya sa roads and railways. So ayan, adequate number of refrigerated stores. So these are example of na fishing harbors. The next is an ocean harbor. Are situated on coast of sea or ocean. It's a vital problem to be tackled in the design or the penetration of waves and deposition of sand. Example of here is the Manila Bay. So, ocean harbor po itong mga tawag natin sa mga ganito. Then we also have the river or inland harbor. Again, from the term itself, inland again, it's not located along the shoreline, but rather on other parts of ating mga bodies of water natin. No? Example, Pasig River, mga ganyan. The next is the canal harbor. So navigations are located along canals for navigations, which could be inland or seagoing. Dredging work needed is up to a minimum. Maintenance required is also negligible. So may mga artificial canal din kasing kino-construct sa mga areas, no, to make yung isang city aesthetic, no? So naglalagay sila ng mga canals. Na meron din namang mga artificial natural na mga canals, yung mga ganyan, yung mga nasa sa may Denmark, mga ganyan, parte ng Europa. Ang daming mga ganyan, no? Yung mga cities nila may mga kanal, no? Yung mga kanal nila are navigational or can be navigated through small boats, no? So yung mating mga ano doon, yung mga daungan ng mga ano natin, we call that as canal harbor. Then next is the lake harbor. Next is the lake harbor class. No, it's constructed along the shores of the lakes. Again, ang ano naman nito class is yung harbor naman is of course daungan ng ating mga barko or any vessels natin or maritime vessels naman natin na ginagamit sa ating mga um, sa mga lakes natin. So yung ating daungan na yon, we call that as the the lake harbor. So those are the different types of harbor natin class, no? So we have in here also pictures, examples, no? Laguna Lake, no? Si Sir Emer. Okay, no? So disregard nyo na lang yan, hindi po yan yung Laguna Lake. Okay? So that's not the Laguna Lake, no? Pero that's an example of a lake harbor, no? So it's actually an area designated for parking space or parking ng ating mga ng ating mga vessels na ginagamit natin sa ating mga in navigating of course yung mga lake ano natin, bodies of waters natin. So those are the different classification of harbor. So I think that's the end of my presentation now. So any questions? So if there are questions, feel free to message me or to PM me or to shoot a message dun sa ating GC. Okay? So I'll send this the copy of this on your GC para meron kayong pag-reviewhan. Okay? So thank you so much for your time and happy weekend everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.